More to how we acting and what God we serve.
That's right.
What commandments are we keeping? All right.
Go in your mom's purse and steal somebody did she had who did it. Tell her the truth fairy guy. See what happened.
Right.
Now the truth out
Come on, brother, let's get it.
Verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Now remind you, this is a commandment, right? And the Lord is shouting these commandments down. When these commandments was given, the Lord was shouting them down. The mountain was on fire, the trumpets was blowing, the earth was quaking. It was chariots of God everywhere, and he was shouting commandments down so loud. Our people said, Moses, look, you go holler at him. We gonna die. You go holler at him, and whatever you say, we obey. That's right. Showing you the presence of the Lord. It's nothing passive and weak. Right. It's serious, you know what I'm saying? So, mind you, he's shouting down, remember the Sabbath day. What's understood don't need to be explained. Why do you got to bring back to your memory what the Sabbath day is? And we just left African Egypt at this point.
That's right.
Just left Egypt. Pharaoh only drowned the Red Sea. We in the wilderness. We come right to the mountain of God where he gives us the commandments. Why he got to tell you to remember the Sabbath? Where you losing it?
In Egypt.
When did you become forgetful? It would have to be in Egypt because your forefathers had it going down into Egypt. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. And after being in Egypt for over 400 years, guess what? They started assimilating. That's right. Worshiping the gods of Egypt. That's why this phenomenon of Negroes believing they Egyptologists is crazy.
That's right.
But it ain't nothing new. We was doing that back then.
Adam had the Sabbath.
You see what I'm saying? So we about to go read about this Sabbath day, right? When we first got it in Genesis. And then how the Lord had to re-instruct us on how to remember the Sabbath day, because that's the sign between God's people and their God. That's the sign right there. What day is the God honor? We don't heard nothing about what's your Sabbath day. Oh, and Naomi, what's your Sabbath day? What's your Sabbath? I don't have a Sabbath day. The Lord has Sabbath days.
That's right.
So outside our feelings, because Big Mama raised us a certain way, what day of the week did the Lord hallow? The seventh day of the week. You can't get around that. And the seventh day of the week is the same on every calendar around the globe. You're not getting around it. Even your iPhone. Open up your iPhone. Look at it. The first day is Sunday. The seventh day is Saturday. And to show you that the people in church understand that when we get to the story of the resurrection of Jesus, Matthew 28, it says at the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn for the first day of the week. And look, they tell you, this is why we go to church on Sunday. Hold on. Are you admitting the Sabbath is Saturday? And why you go to church on Sunday? Because you think Christ rose on Sunday?
Right.
Huh? It say at the end of the Sabbath as it began to dawn. When they got there early Sunday morning, the first day of the week, Christ was already gone. Past tense. He already out of here, the angel told him.
Right.
So when did it change? Why would God tell you to remember? Why? Because you was God's people. You didn't understand what day he hallowed.
Right.
All right, let's get into it. We got to remember something. Finish reading it though.
Verse 9.
Yeah.
6 days shalt thou labor.
So the first part of keeping Sabbath is what? Working 6 days.
That's right.
6 days shall you labor. Come on, brother.
And do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gate.
We're going to get deep into it and show what the work is.
That's right.
Understand, you know what I'm saying? We're going to get right up into Matthew 12. Well, Christ never violated Sabbath. He was accused of it, but they cannot go into the scripture and show where he violated it. You know what I'm saying? So make sure the work people imposing on you ain't man-made tradition. You feel me? Servile work is what it's talking about. What you do to bring home the roosters 6 days a week.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Brother, you can't turn the washing machine on because it's like, man, look, we really ain't read none of this, man. Right. I mean, if that's what you're doing 6 days a week, then I understand it. You know what I'm saying? Again, we're talking about servile work. Why? Because your mind got to be totally on the Lord. And you're supposed to be resting from all this laborious work right here.
That's right.
All right, let's read, bro.
Verse 11.
Yeah.
For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day.
Right.
And hallowed it.
And he what?
Hallowed it.
Lord hallowed it. You don't like the fact that it's the 7th day of the week? Take it up with the Most High.
That's right.
Let's go to Genesis chapter 2. Genesis chapter 2, the beginning, when the Sabbath was first instituted. And this also goes into the doctrine that when you know we didn't get laws until Mount Sinai, wrong answer again.
That's right.
Wrong answer again. Cain would have never been guilty of murder if there wasn't a law that said thou should not murder or kill.
That's right.
Right? Sodom and Gomorrah wouldn't have been incinerated off the mountain. If there was no such thing as sodomy or homosexuality. The Lord turned Sodom and Gomorrah to an oven, man. And this was before Mount Sinai. There wasn't one single Israelite in Sodom and Gomorrah.
That's right.
Israel when he born here. Lot was there, Abraham's nephew, but none of us was even there. And you see the Lord executed judgment on Sodom and Gomorrah because they were doing something that's ungodly. Noah, he knew the difference between clean and unclean animals.
That's right.
All this is before the mountain that we got the law. That's the schoolmaster. A lot of people in the doctrine of moral confuse us being re-taught by Moses and Aaron with the eternal law of God that go back before Moses and Aaron.
That's right. Before Adam. So what was Lucifer thrown out for? Because he was weighted down here with wickedness, wasn't he? And he's called the father of lies and the father of murder. So who before him? They did some sin. Murder, ain't it?
Murder. Let's get to understanding. Genesis 2.
Everybody there?
It all was in the beginning, but being you was assimilated to Egypt for over 400 years, you had to be re-taught the instruction of God.
That's right.
That's what that was about. And you was under that order or that priest or administration until the Son of God showed up and laid his life down. You feel me? So all the blood sacrificing with the animals was just a foreshadowing of the perfect ultimate sacrifice of Christ. Through his stripes ye are healed. You got a problem with that, but okay, go get you a turtle dove. Then you got another problem. What temple and what priest you take it to? Think about it. Go ahead, Mama D.
Now we can read Genesis 1:31 and then come on down to 2.
Yes, ma'am. Let's read it.
The book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 31. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good.
It was what?
It was very good. And the evening and the morning were the 6th day.
It was finger licking good, huh?
Right.
It was good. Everything had its purpose, man. And the evening and the morning were the 6th day. Genesis 2 and 1. Come on, brother.
Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the 7th day, God ended his work which he had made. And he rested on the 7th day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the 7th day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made.
We go back to Genesis, Bereshit, meaning in the beginning. Right? In the beginning, we talk about Sabbath day. God hallowed. Right? So then he commanded his servants to do the very same thing. Rest. Alright? Understand what it is. And the Lord hallowed this or hallowed this thing. Right? So nothing you can do to make it unholy. Lord hallowed. I mean, you can go off and start profaning and doing whatever you want, but nevertheless, the Lord hallowed this day right here. So when you get to putting on these people with these other doctrines, real bad, the next excuse is, oh, we really don't know what day is the Sabbath. Okay, now here comes the excuse now. Well, how you know Tuesday ain't served? How you know Thursday ain't served? That's the next excuse. How do we answer? For one, the Lord number the days of the week. It's not Monday, Tuesday, when you know that here. That's Thor's day and Moon day and Frigga day. That's Friday. That's Frigga. Frigga day. Thor and Woe day. You know that here. All that matters, right? But the Lord numbered the days, they 1 through 7. So let's get down to the common denominator of your question. What are you asking? Why 3 can't be 7? What are you really asking? Because if we take the names off of it, you don't have no order. The argument you think you got, you don't have. Because we're going to take the names off of it and put the numbers of the day, like I say in the Bible. That's right. Day 1 through 7. Right. So being Tuesday is day 3 and Saturday is day 7. What are you asking me? Why 3 can't be 7? Is that what you're saying? If you put 3 in the position of 7 and 7 in the position of 3, guess what? It becomes what it is. 7 or 3. In other words, it's an established order, man. And it has not been broken since creation. 7-day week. It's not been broken since creation. We asked what was show. They said, oh, so-and-so came up with a calendar back in the 1800s. Has the sun and the moon and the stars stopped doing their thing? Since the Lord put them in their order. Exactly. So that's how you know what time it is right there. Sun, moon, stars, and this constant rotation right here. Go ahead, brother.
So you would not agree that it's only 7 days in a month and not 31?
7 days in a month?
Yeah. Would you not agree that it's only 7 days in a month and not 31?
Not 7 days in a month. 7 days in a month or a week?
In a week?
Yeah, 7 days in a week, no doubt.
I mean, I was trying to say, without, it's only 7 days. Right?
Yeah.
Not 31, it's only 7 days. We just went up and
Yeah, 7 times 4, 28 days.
So that's what.
About 28 days in a month, something like that. But this is the thing right here. You got solar and lunar cycle. So you got the moon cycle, they got a 354-day cycle. That's right. And the sun is 365 days. You feel me? So you got roughly 29 and a half days for 6 months and 30 days for 6 months. So it all goes down to the moon and the sun and the orbit that it plays. That's right. You feel me? And it all comes down to roughly around 30 days. It just depends on what month it is. But roughly like right there at that 30, like between 29.5 and 30 days.
The crescent is the beginning of the week, ain't it?
But the beginning of the next week, the next Saturday.
After the new moon. After the new moon.
All right, come on, bro. Let's get it.
Did that answer your question, bro?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Who got a question? Go ahead, bro.
Thank you for that too. I got this right here actually from the Catholic Encyclopedia. It says early believers kept Saturday as the Sabbath until March the 7th, 321 CE, when Pope Constantine passed a law that required believers to worship on Sunday, the day that pagans worship the Sunday. Believers still kept the Saturday as the Sabbath until another law was passed 11 years later. And this law signed into the decree by Pope Constantine forbid believers to worship on the Sabbath, parentheses Saturday, and it was punishable by death by the Catholic Church. Many believers were burned to death by the Catholic Church for keeping the Sabbath.
Y'all see that?
Notice one thing what he did mention is, and he changed it in the Bible.
Right.
So it's still without excuse because he decided to change it on paper, it was never changed in the Bible. So that's still under you because Obama them just changed what marriage is. A man and a woman.
Man and a man.
But they changed it to, it could be man on man, woman on woman, man on animal. But the Bible ain't changed since they changes.
Right.
So we still have to be mindful that, like he said, it ain't gonna never change. His words stand the test of time. That would be the main thing you would look for. So we don't want to hear about what they did, Constantine them did. Bro was just explaining it, where people got that idea. But there ain't a Bible on this earth that say the 7th day is Sunday because of Constantine.
Right. Are we done with that Genesis 2?
Yeah, one more thing. I don't know if y'all was going to Jubilees, precept of Jubilees.
Yeah.
When we're ready.
Where you going, 50?
Yeah, no, Jubilees chapter 2, about how he sanctified the Sabbath day before Adam and Eve.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Jubilees chapter 2, verse 17. It says, and he gave us a great sign, the Sabbath day, so that we might work 6 days and observe a Sabbath from all work on the 7th day. And he told us of all the angels of the presence and of all the angels of signification, these two great kinds, that we might keep the Sabbath with him in heaven and on earth. And he said to us, behold, I shall separate for myself a people from among all nations, and they will also keep the Sabbath day. And I will sanctify them for myself, and I will bless them, just as I have sanctified and shall sanctify the Sabbath day for myself, thus shall I bless them. And they will be my people, and I will be their God. And I have chosen the seed of Jacob from among all that I have seen, and I have recorded him as my firstborn son, and sanctify him for myself forever and ever. And I will make known to them the Sabbath day, so they might observe therein a Sabbath from all work. Verse 21. And thus he created therein a sign by which they might keep the Sabbath with us on the seventh day. So again, we see that they keep the Sabbath in heaven. Then it says, to eat and drink and to bless the one who created all things, just as he blessed and sanctified for himself a people who appeared from all nations, so that they might keep the Sabbath together with us. And he caused their desires to go up as pleasing fragrance, which is acceptable before him always. There were 22 chief men from Adam unto Jacob, and 22 kinds of works were made before the seventh day. The former is blessed and sanctified, and the latter is also blessed and sanctified. One was like the other with respect to sanctification and blessing, and it was granted to the former that they should always be the blessed and sanctified ones of the testimony of the first law, just as he sanctified and blessed the Sabbath day on the seventh day. Verse 25. And he created heaven and earth, and everything which he created in 6 days. And the Lord made the seventh day holy, or being set apart, for all his works. Therefore he commanded concerning it, let everyone who would do any work therein die. And also whoever defiles it, let him surely die. But for time's sake, I just stop that.
Well, last
you
verse.
can write down Jubilee chapter.
What verse did you end at?
Really just write down verse 32. Verse 17 to 32.
I got it on the board.
Okay.
I was going to Exodus 16.
33 on that.
Yeah, 33, my bad.
33.
I was going to Exodus 16. Exodus 16 chapter. Again, the name of the class is breaking down the commands of the Lord.
That's right.
We on commandment 4 and 5 now, which is remember the Sabbath day, honor your father and mother. So Exodus 16 right here is how the Lord, he gave us the commandment. He showed us how, or got us back on the track of this 7-day cycle.
That's right.
In the wilderness. Coming out of Egypt as a slave and going to the land of promise. But we can't get to the land of promise or the kingdom of heaven acting like our slave masters. You understand that? So he had to give us instruction and all that coming out of slavery. You dig? So let's get this right here. Exodus 16, we're going to start at. We'll show you how the Lord retrained our understanding so we can understand what the Sabbath was. Being in Egypt for 400 years, we assimilated to the Egyptian culture and lifestyle. So let's get this right here. Exodus 16, when we start at verse 1, my brother.
Verse 1. Exodus chapter 16, verse 1. And they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came unto the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month, after their departing out of the land of Egypt.
So a month later after we left Egypt, the Lord drowned the Egyptians and all that in the Red Sea. A month later, where we at now? Come on, brother.
And the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said unto them, would to God we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full. For ye have brought us forth into this wilderness, to kill this whole assembly with hunger.
You talking about an upward number, say around 2 million Israelites, man. Can you imagine all our people murmuring, back talking in the wilderness. They're like, look, man, we was better off in America, Jack. Like, we was better off with our EBT cards, you know. This I better went to the corner store and got me a single cigarette or something. like, look, you feel me? Like, understand, we are the direct descendants of the people we reading about.
That's right.
So understand, we just left captivity, Egypt. We 30 days in. Not even 2 months. 30 days in. 1 month in, we murmured.
We want to go back.
Complaining.
That's crazy, man.
Word of God, I died in Egypt by the flesh pots. You feel me? Hey, look, after you seen the Lord split this Red Sea, you walk through on dry ground. Your enemies get drowned. After you see all the plagues hit Egypt.
Right.
After you witness all this, you still complain.
Still complain.
Hey, but that spirit is still around. What you think we're going to have to deal with again?
That's right.
And what we're dealing with now.
Right.
Let's read, my brother.
Then said the Lord unto Moses, Behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day, that I may prove them whether they will walk in my law or no. And it shall come to pass that on the 6th day they shall prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily.
We talking about, we see, getting us back on track for the Sabbath. We just left Egypt. What he gonna do? He's gonna rain down bread for 6 days. On the 6th day, you gather twice. That way you ain't gotta be out there on the Sabbath day trying to gather you some bread.
Yeah.
It's already put up, you're prepared for it, you and family sit up and eat. Right? So we getting us back on schedule. We collect so much every day, and on the 6th day, double up. Let's read, brother.
And Moses and Aaron said unto all the children of Israel, At even, then ye shall know that the Lord had brought you out from the land of Egypt. And in the morning, then ye shall see the glory of the Lord, for that he heareth your murmuring against the Lord. And what are we that ye murmur against us?
Lord, hear all that back talking, all that under your breath complaining. Hear all that. Let's read, brother.
And Moses.
Hey, I got a question about that.
Hopefully we can answer. Go ahead, brother.
Because it seems like our people in general, but we don't deal with everybody. We deal with ours first, right?
Of course. And then whoever else want to hear it. Yeah.
Whatever else want to hear it, it seems like we have the ability to complain about our situation, but get no choices to get into the situation. I mean, this mentality that we read about right now, because we see it every day from we work with to the social network. Is this considered? You consider this like a generational curse? Basically.
He called us, check this out. It's a something in our DNA called stiff-necked.
Okay.
All through the scripture call us stiff-necked Hebrews. Right.
It's something that's on us that we have to battle with personally and as a family.
Yes. That's true. That's true, man. It's coded in your DNA. A Negro gonna murmur, talk back, complain.
Wow.
It don't matter. And look, complain so bad he just forget about the blessing he just got. He just got a blessing. And you complaining like you ain't never received no blessing.
Not knowing that you the reason you in the situation you're in with it.
Come on, bro. You got something, bro?
Yeah, no, I'm not good at reciting or remembering.
A lot of us need to come
Now, I was reading, you were talking about this earlier, and I was also reading the part where he led a bunch of people through the wilderness and put them, sent somebody up on top of a hill to look at this land that he was giving to them.
Mm-hmm.
And he complained about that land too.
It was, I don't know what you're talking about exactly, but you know, Moses was told to get up in that mountain and die, and when he got up there, before he died, the Lord allowed him to look over all the promised land where he was leading these people. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord told him to die because he got beside himself. You know what I'm saying? The rebellion of our people caused him to say something he shouldn't have said.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And for a moment, you feel me? He probably thought, you know, hey, if it wasn't for me, all you niggas would be dead. Right. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord's like, hold on, what's this we stuff?
That's right.
What do you mean we? I did this. Right. So being that he's a man in leadership and authority, right? If he don't get handled, the people that's looking and never understand how severe that is for you to be thinking, hey, if it wasn't for me, none of y'all would have. So you got
He wanted you to be humble.
There you go. There you go. And look, and that's the deal with dealing with the Most High, period, man. Like, how you puffed up dealing with him at all? Like, he the Most High power of all powers. Like, how you step to him like, yeah, what's up? What's up, dog? Right. What's good? Hey, you see the TV the other night? Hey, old girl, it's tripping. Like, it's the Lord. You supposed to be in all reverence and trembling.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? That's how it's supposed to be. You got something, Drake? Yeah, I mean, you know, his brother was soft. Very soft. You know, the Lord let him know what it was. You did, but regardless, you can't go into the promised land. But we read what Christ talked about Moses good. Now, he gonna be in the kingdom and all that. But his time came to an end. He had to pass the scepter off to Joshua, the son of Nun, and he is the war general who will go in, you know what I'm saying, and fight the wars of Israel. You did. But yeah, he was very soft or jacked up by it. You know what I'm saying? And it lets you know, man, your people will be so rebellious. Unless you watch your tongue, you can say something.
That's right.
That'll jack you up. You feel me? So, you know, that let you know you gotta be circumspect, man. Too many Negroes being rebellious, you might want to get up out of there. It may cause you to say something against, you feel me, the Lord or whatever. Now let's finish this up.
Verse 8.
Yeah.
And Moses said, this shall be when the Lord shall give you in the evening flesh to eat, and in the morning bread to the full. For that the Lord heareth your murmuring, which ye murmur against him. And what are we? Your murmurings are not against us, but against the Lord.
That was Moses and Aaron saying to the children of Israel, you ain't complaining against me, you complaining against the Lord. Right? Come on, brother.
And Moses spake unto Aaron, say unto the congregation of the children of Israel, come near before the Lord, for he hath heard your murmuring. And it came to pass, as Aaron spake unto the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked toward the wilderness, and behold, the glory of the Lord appeared in the cloud. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel. Speak unto them, saying, at evening ye shall eat flesh, and in the morning ye shall be filled with bread, and ye shall know that I am the Lord your God. And it came to pass that at evening the quails came up and covered the camp, and in the morning the dew lay round about the host. And when the dew that lay was gone up, behold, upon the face of the wilderness there lay a small round thing, as small as a hoarfrost on the ground. And when the children of Israel saw it, they said one to another, it is mine, for they wist not what it was. And Moses said unto them, this is the bread which the Lord hath given you to eat.
And that's crazy because your boy to be on BET on the late night, be screaming. Like if you fall asleep with BET on, he gonna wake you up. Right? Boy, he claims that he has the secret recipe to mine. Right. Call him, put your order in now for $59.99. You'll get the Lord's bread from heaven. You men are getting worse and worse out of it, man. You feel me? The Lord rained that down out of heaven. How you got the recipe? Right. Let's read, my brother. You got something left?
Yeah. Just want you can put that up on the board, man. Matthew 12.
We're going up. Come on, brother.
Verse 16. This is the thing which the Lord had commanded. Gather of it every man according to his eating.
According to what?
His eating.
See, not being glutton. You ain't out for this. As much as you can get, every man according to his eating. It said in the prayer, give us this day our daily bread. Or in the other version of the prayer in Luke 11, give us day by day our bread. So it wasn't about being gluttonous. What you got was enough for you and your household. Let's read, brother.
An omer for every man according to the number of your persons. Take ye every man for them which are in his tents. And the children of Israel did so, and gathered, some more, some less. And when they did meet with an omer, he that gathered much had had nothing over. And he that gathered little had no lack.
Come on.
They gathered every man according to his eating.
According to his eating. Come on.
And Moses said, let no man leave of it till the morning. Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto Moses.
See, we got in our DNA was called being stiff-necked, rebellion. Still not listening. Come on, bro.
But some of them left of it until the morning, and it